Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing today, Othmane? How is everything?
Fine.
Nice, very good, great. What did you do during the holiday? You had a holiday, great, some maybe a few days ago.
Yes.
Oh, nice, great. And what about this current holiday, great? Is there anything special that you're doing that you have in your plan?
No. Just watching TV and
Okay.
sometimes go
You,
back.
you didn't travel anywhere?
No.
Okay, no problem. Great. I hope that we can meet one day, by the way. Why not? Right? Maybe
Yeah.
if you're, from time to time, I do travel to Rabat and Sali, right, and so on. Maybe if it happens that I came there or you come here, right, it's gonna be a great pleasure, inshallah, to see each other and meet each other, right, in reality, not just online on Zoom, right? Well,
Yes.
so let's move on. We have a very important lesson, a very concise and very brief, but very important lesson in grammar today. Let's get started, with some questions that I'm going to ask you so that we can, move on to the lesson right away. Can you tell me, great Othman, what is your favorite hobby? What do you like to do in your spare time? The number one hobby maybe that you like to do.
Sleeping.
Oh my gosh, sleeping?
Yes.
Why most of the students, when you ask them what do you like to do, they say they like to sleep. Sleep is not an activity, it's not something special. Is it something special that you like to do?
Yes, because when you have school, you all time wake up very
Uh-huh.
early.
Okay, well, it's a big question whether sleeping is an activity or not. I'm asking about activity, right? Mostly when you are aware, when you are conscious, when you are awake. What do you like to do when you are awake?
Watching TV.
Okay, so can you give me a statement?
I like watching TV.
Very nice. Yeah.
My federation.
Okay. I like watching great TV. Very good. Yes. Well, number two, can you tell me why do you like watching TV? Why do you like sleeping? Great. Yes. You told me that you like to sleep. Why do you like sleeping?
Because time pass very quickly.
When you sleep, you think that the time flies.
Yes.
Oh, and why do you want the time to pass so quickly, right? Why do you want that? For us, we as adults, people, and so on, we really don't want the time to go so fast. We want that the time, slows down because we feel that there is nothing left to live, right? And we feel that our lifetime is really counting down, especially when right? When you are over 30, over 40 years, we feel that we want to slow down, right? We don't want the time to go so fast. So why do you want the time to go so fast, to run fast?
Because you don't have anything to do special.
Okay, because you feel bored, maybe there is nothing to do, right? Okay, so that's it, right? So let me write this statement this way. So you say, I like sleeping, guys. I like sleeping because or when, right? When I feel bored, right? When you feel bored, you don't know what to do, so you prefer to go sleeping, right? Okay, you prefer to sleep. Well, number three, right? Yes. Um, okay, so tell me what are some of the maybe to right, tell me what kind of let me say what kind of hobby does Ali like to do and practice.
Really? You
Mhm.
like play football?
Playing football. How about your favorite sport? Which one is it? The same football?
Swimming.
Swimming. Okay, so let's put it this way. Ali, guys, likes swimming likes swimming, but it means you, Uthman, but I, right, likes, sorry, right, yes, Ali likes
It's a concession.
football. What is it?
It's a concession.
There's nothing related to concession here. We'll talk about that later, right? But I, right, like swimming, right? It's not about concession when we use here, but, you know, it's contrasts, okay?
Yeah.
Not concession, it's contrasts, right? I remember that time when we dealt with concession and contrast, we put them in one category just to, you know, to make the lesson a little bit shorter, just to shorten the lesson, right? But, you know, as we mentioned before, right, concession is different. Concession is, for instance, I say, even if, or although, we use such words. Although I work hard, I failed in the exam, right? Although I revised my lessons, I failed the exam. Okay, so this is an example of, you know, right? Maybe your dad, right, is contacting me, right? This is an example of, you know, right, concession, right? Okay, this is an example of concession. Well, so this is it, right? So this is contrast, not concession. Now, your attention to the following statements that we have here, to the following statements that we have here, Ali. Uthman. Number one, I like watching TV. Where is the subject in the sentence? I, very good. This is the subject. It's S. Where is the verb?
Watching. Like.
Like, this is the verb, right? But watching TV is what?
Verb.
Not really, great. What do you like? I like watching TV, right? I like apples. I like film. This is objects. هذا مفعول به. Objects, okay? This is an object. Good. Well, you know, regardless of how many words do we have here. Okay, so your attention here, Uthman, when you have a simple, how many ideas do we have here before, right? We come to the rule. How many ideas have we expressed here? I like watching TV. Is there one thought? Thought, it means idea, or two, three. How many ideas do you have there?
One.
It's only one thought. Very good. Yes. Okay. So is the meaning complete or incomplete?
Complete.
It's complete. Very good. So when we have one, you know, complete meaning, one sentence, I mean, subject to verb, we may have sometimes two subjects and two verbs. It doesn't matter. But if we have one sentence expressing one clause, we say sentence or clause, expressing one thought, that is called an independent clause. Okay, هذا نسميها جملة، هذا النوع من الجمل نسميها independent clause. Why independent? Because it expresses the meaning, a full meaning by itself. It doesn't need to rely or depend on another clause so that the meaning, you know, becomes complete. إذا جملة مكتفية بنفسها تعبر عن معنى تام، يعني دون الحاجة إلى الاعتماد على جملة أخرى أو كلمات أخرى. Right. Okay, that is what we call independent clause, and it's called a simple sentence. لأن عندنا جملة معنى واحد. It's a simple sentence. Okay, simple. Right. Number two, I like sleeping when I feel bored. Let's go to number three first and then come back to number two. Ali likes football, but I like swimming. How many sentences do we have there? How many clauses?
Two.
We got two clauses. Where is the first clause?
Ali like football.
What kind of clause is that?
Incomplete. Incomplete.
Incomplete. I mean, أن لك هذا يا Othmane, right? Where did you get that? What do we call this statement number one? It's the same like number one.
Because
it's a simple sentence. Okay, جملة بسيطة, simple sentence. لماذا جملة بسيطة? Because it's, you know, one independent clause. لأنها جملة واحدة مستقلة بذاتها, right? It expresses only one meaning, and the meaning is complete. Okay, so it's an independent clause. Simple sentence or independent clause. What is the second clause, Othmane, here?
But I like swimming.
We have your I like swimming, right? I like swimming. Is the meaning complete or incomplete?
It's complete.
It is complete, right? So it is just the same like this one. It's the same. Ali likes football is quite similar to I like swimming, right? So both are two independent clauses, right? They don't need any other clause in order for the meaning, right? In order that the meaning becomes complete, okay? And what is the linking word that we use it in order to link to join both clauses? We got here but, right, which is a conjunction. It's called a conjunction, right? Okay, or a coordinator. Now this kind of sentences, Othmane, which consists at least of two clauses, two independent clauses joined by the use of a coordinator or a conjunction, like but, like or, like and, like so. These type of sentences is called a compound sentence, right? جملة مركبة في اللغة العربية نسميها جملة مركبة. فلان يحب كذا وكذا وأنا أحب كذا وكذا. هذه جملة مركبة, right? It's a compound sentence. To joining or combining two independent clauses. Good. Let us see right now the third example of sentences. I like sleeping when I feel bored. What is the first? So what are the clauses that we have here, Othmane? Tell me, how many clauses do we have here?
We have two clauses. I like sleeping is the first, and I feel bored is
when I feel bored, right? Now, are the two meanings, complete? Do they express one independent thought? I mean, are they complete? So do they stand by themselves?
It's
The first one, I like sleeping. Is the meaning complete?
yes, the meaning is
Yes.
complete.
Complete one, independent. That's why it's called an independent clause. It is an independent clause. I like sleeping. Now, when I say when I feel bored, is the meaning complete?
It's not incomplete.
Yeah, it can't express the meaning by itself. This is just a phrase. It requires what? It requires the main clause. Okay, so this clause which is independent is called the main clause. كيتسمى الجملة الأساس أو الجملة الأساسية, right? But this one ولكن هذه مجرد عبارة. When I feel bored, what? Okay, so this is called a dependent clause. ماشي independent, it's dependent clause. Why? Because it depends on the main clause so that the meaning becomes complete. And it is also called كنسميوها dependent clause ولا subordinate clause. Okay? Now, what type of sentence do we have here? When we join an independent clause لما نربط أو نجمع جملة تامة المعنى مع جملة ناقصة المعنى, right? A dependent clause together with an independent clause by the use of some words, some subordinators like when, like a relative pronoun, who, where, linking words expressing the purpose in order to, so as to, or expressing the cause, because, and so on and so forth, for, and for that, right, and so on. So when we have this combination between an independent clause together with a dependent clause or subordinate clause, this is what we call a complex sentence. هذه النوع من الجمل تسمى جملة معقدة, right? Now, so these are the three basic types of sentences that we have right now, Othmane. We have simple sentence, one independent clause expressing a complete thought. And compound sentence, it means a combination of two independent clauses, two simple sentences. And a complex sentence, which is a combination of an independent clause together with a subordinate clause. And there is the fourth type, Othmane, is a combination. The type number 4 is a combination of compound sentence and a complex sentence. What does it mean? Compound sentence, for instance, we have here, let me say, Ali likes football, but I like swimming because it is healthy. All right? Ali likes football, but I like swimming because it is healthy. إذا لا يكون عندنا علي likes football and but I like swimming, this is compound. ولكن إذا زدنا عليها واحد subordinate clause because it is healthy كيولي عندنا compound complex sentence, right? Now let's take a look. We are going to take a break first of all before we move to praxis, avant de commencer à pratiquer, right? Voilà cette leçon. Alors on va, right, we are going to see a very short video about difference between independent clause and dependent clause. نشوف شنو الفرق بين الجملة اللي هي dependent and independent clause. Then we are going to, inshallah, to come back and continue with the lesson that we have today. Let's say with praxis. Let me share with you right away the screen. Okay. Here we go. Yalla, bismillah.
Independent clause. An independent clause is a group of words that contains a subject and a verb. This type of clause makes sense on its own as a sentence. For example, Jane ate pasta. The subject in this sentence is Jane and the verb is ate. Another example is Sam went to the park. The subject in this sentence is Sam and the verb is went. As we can see from these examples, they make sense on their own and they convey a complete thought. Dependent clause. A dependent clause is also a group of words that contains a subject and a verb. However, a dependent clause doesn't make sense on its own as a sentence. For example, because she was hungry. As we can see from this example, there's a subject and a verb. However, the clause doesn't make sense on its own, as it doesn't convey a complete thought. Therefore, we can combine the independent clause and dependent clause, like this. Jane ate pasta because she was hungry. As we can see here, the dependent clause depends on the independent clause to make sense. Another example is, after he finished. Again, this clause doesn't make sense as it doesn't convey a complete thought. Therefore, we can combine it with an independent clause like this. Sam went to the park after he finished school. We can also identify dependent clauses by looking for a subordinating conjunction. A subordinating conjunction introduces a dependent clause. There are many types of subordinating conjunctions, such as after, although, before, because, etc. Now, test your knowledge by identifying whether each of the following is an independent clause or a dependent clause. You can pause.
Okay, as you can see here, Othmane, we have a very simple exercise here. So you are required to think about the type of clauses that we have here. Is it independent or dependent? Independent يعني جملة تامة المعنى. Dependent المعنى غير ناقص, right? ضروري, right? الجملة الأساسية, right?
Pause the video here.
Okay, so let's get started. Yeah, let's do it together. We have here, I have an English exam tomorrow. Is it independent or dependent?
dependent.
It is what?
Dependent.
شنو هي dependent؟ رقم جوج.
The clause is dependent.
dependent يعني المعنى غير تام.
Yes.
هل المعنى غير تام؟ I have an exam tomorrow.
دابا المعنى تام هو depend independent.
independent. شنو هي independent؟ independent يعني مستقلة بذاتها، لا تعتمد على شي حاجة أخرى، ما محتاجاش قايت شي حاجة أخرى. It doesn't need anything else for the meaning to be complete. But dependent ملي كنقولوا dependent يعني it depends يعني تعتمد على شي حاجة أخرى. Okay ضروري. Right. Okay so I have an English exam tomorrow. Yes.
is independent.
independent يعني مستقل. indépendant شنو الاستقلال؟ شنو هو الاستقلال en français ولا en anglais؟ independence. l'indépendance. Okay independence هو الاستقلال. right يعني مستقل عن غيره. right. Number 2 before I went to school.
Is dependent.
dependent. Great good. ولا كنسميوها أيضا subordinate. Okay when I lived in London.
Dependent.
dependent. The books are on the shelf.
Independent.
تمام المعنى تام. Because she exercises every day.
Independent.
What is it? Because she exercises every day.
Dependent.
Dependent. شي حاجة كتبدا حيتاش كذا. شنو حيتاش كذا؟ Right, yes. Okay, let's check.
So you have time to think about your answers.
Okay, so these are the answers. So number 1, it's independence, dependence, dependence, independence, and dependence. Great. Very good. So I think it's quite clear. Dependence is also called subordinate, great? Subordinate clause. That's it. Now let's move on, inshallah, great, to the quizzes. Great. We are going to start, inshallah, with the first quiz, which has to do with the task number 1. Let me show with you the screen right away. Bismillah tawakkalna Allah. Here we go. Yes. Okay. All right. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, so that's it, guys. So we have here, as you see, great, the practical part, let's see, of this lesson, the first practical part. Now we need to determine whether the statement is what type of sentence do we have here, right? Okay, so is it a simple sentence?
Simple or complex or compound.
complex. Exactly, yes. احنا نعطيو رموز right. اما تحط s ça veut dire simple, either compound, right? It means you know, two independent clauses, right? Or complex, let's say cx, or again compound complex, right? ccx. Okay, so I will give you some time to think about all these statements that we have here, Othmane, right? Let me see. I hope that you can see all the statements. Can you see them?
Yes.
خط مقروء. Alors, je te donne, great, 3 minutes. I will give you 3 or 4 minutes. والوقت ما ساليتي, great, you let me know, right? Okay, أنا معك أنا, yes. Have you finished, Uthman? ولا نبداو كذا. Let's see right where we have stopped, so where you have stopped, inshallah, and then continue. Yes.
7.
Okay, that sounds good. Good. Let's start with the first statement here. We have Vampire's Diaries. مذكرات ديال مصاصي الدماء. Vampire's Diaries is my favorite television show, but I also love True Blood.
It's complex.
Complex. Your attention here. The coordinators or the subordinators can help us. Those words that we use in order to combine between sentences, they can help us guess the type of sentence we have. So if it is a complex sentence, you will have words just like as, because, since, after, although, when, sometimes who, relative pronoun like who, that, which. So if you have words, although, words like this, that means that there is a subordinate clause and therefore, a complex sentence. But for a compound sentence, you will have some subordinate coordinators like, or conjunctions like for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. That means that you're combining two independent clauses and it's a compound sentence. So again, what kind of sentence do we have here? Vampire's Diaries is my favorite television show, but I also love True Blood.
Compound.
Compound sentence. عندنا جمع بين جملتين كاملتي المعنى مستقلتين. كل وحدة عندها معنى تام. Right? Number one is, as you can see here, Vampire Diaries is my favorite television show. It's one complete thought. فكرة واحدة تامة المعنى. It's a simple sentence or an independent clause. And another one we have, I also love True Blood. It's also an independent clause. So, and the coordinate, the linking word that we used here is this conjunction, which is the coordinator that we use in order to show that there is a compound sentence. Number two, The student wiped the whiteboard that was filthy with the last week's notes. They wiped, it means they cleaned the whiteboard, the blackboard or the whiteboard. That was filthy, it was, you know, full of last week's notes.
Complex.
Great. Okay, so if we have a complex, it means there's independent clause. Where is the independent clause here?
The student
wiped the
whiteboard.
whiteboard. Okay, إذا هذه جملة كتسمى it's an independent clause. جملة which is the main clause. كتسمى the main independent clause. It is the main clause. الجملة الأساس. That was filthy. Great. Okay, so with the use of that means this is a subordinate clause, which means it's true. This is a complex sentence. Great. Okay, so we say that number one is a compound sentence, it's C. Number two is complex sentence, CX. Number three, the trendy fashion designer released her new line on Wednesday.
Is simple.
Very simple. Subjects, which is the trendy fashion designer. It means Ahmed or Ali, so call him whatever you want. Release it, this is the verb. And then we have the objects, release it what? Release it, a new line. And then on Wednesday, right? This is another verb of time, right? Very good. This is a simple sentence. Very good. Well, next we have here the Trina and Harim went to a bar in Hollywood to celebrate their anniversary.
Compound.
Be careful. When you say compound, where are the two independent clauses? Where is the conjunction? And, for, so, what do we have there? ملي كيكون compound, ça veut dire nous avons deux phrases complètes, right?
Simple.
Why simple? We can't say simple.
Because it's all just one verb conjugation.
Okay, we have here Trina and Harim went to a bar in Hollywood. This is one independent clause. جملة واحدة تمت المعنى. But we have here two. Celebrate their anniversary. Two, this is a linking word expressing purpose. So if we have some linking words, let me show you. I have another document that shows everything here. If we have some linking words that show purpose, just like to or so that or in order to or that and so on, this is an adverb clause and therefore it's a dependent clause. يعني جملة غير تامة, right? هذه جملة غير تامة. This is an independent clause. Sorry about that. Okay, this is the document. Great. إذا من اللي غنقوله to celebrate their anniversary, this is independent and this is a subordinate clause, dependent clause. جملة غير تامة, okay? So we are expressing here purpose. So this is combination of independent clause plus dependent clause, which makes it what? What kind of sentence is that? Your microphone is not working if you're speaking.
Complex.
Complex, very good, excellent, great. إذا this is complex. إذا غتنتبه غير لهذا لو ليان هذا, right? إلا لقيتيها أمو اللي كيعبر على لو بوت ولا كيعبر على ولا relative pronoun, right? Like who, what, when, so as to, in order that, although, when, while. So it must be great subordinate clause and the whole statement will be complex statement. Well, number 5, wicked Regina cast a spell on the entire city. So the citizens decided to rebel.
Complex.
Oh no, how come? You have your so. This is an independent clause, جملة تامة. The citizens decided to rebel, and then we have your so. So these word, or this coordinator so is the one that we use in a compound statement, right? Okay, you have your for and nor and so, yet, these are the same. But, and, so, this makes it a compound statement, right? Or a compound clause. Compound, right? Yes. Let's move to the next, number 6. While waiting for the paint to dry, يعني وحنا كنتسناو لا بانتور انها تنشف, Angela went to Home Depot. This is a place. And Martin organized the kitchen appliances. Got to be careful, you know, to identify the type of sentence we have here. While waiting for the parts to dry. Is it a complete idea? Is it a complete thought, this one? While waiting for the paint to dry.
No.
It's a subordinate clause. So it is dependent, a dependent clause. هذه جملة غير تامة. It can stand by its own. It doesn't express a complete thought. Now, if I say Angela went to Home Depot, is the meaning complete?
Yes.
Yes, it's an independent clause, right? This is an
complex.
Independent clause. Okay, very nice. And then we have, again, we have and we have Martin organized the kitchen appliances. From here to here, it's compound. And also a dependent clause that makes it compound complex, right? This is a compound complex clause, right? So let's see, great, compound complex, great. Okay, let's see number 7. After listening to the Kanye West CD, I have new respect for his music.
Simple.
What are the two clauses that we have? And this is each clause, is it independent? Is it complete or rather dependent?
It's complex because the first is dependent and
Très bien, دابا مزيان. Alors c'est pas nécessaire d'avoir un dependent clause يكون في المرتبة الثانية ولا في الآخر. On peut l'avoir au début كما عندنا هنايا while waiting for the paint to dry. إذا عندنا الجملة اللي هي العبارة هذه غير مكتملة المعنى جاءت في بداية الكلام ابتداءً. ممكن تجي في الآخر, right? On peut dire comme ça. I have no respect for his for Kanye West music after listening for his music after listening to the new, right, West CD. So we can put, let's say, the subordinate clause till the end, right? So this is a subordinate clause together with an independent clause. That makes it a complex sentence, right? Complex sentence, right? The last one, after the teacher closed groups. After the teacher closed groups, John and Sarah were selected as partners for a project, yet Sarah did most of the work.
compound complex.
Excellent job, great. You deserve a golden star, Othmane. Very nice. Yeah, it's been a long time that I haven't given you, right, a golden star, right? Okay, so that's a compound complex, okay? So we have here the first statement is a dependent clause. It's a subordinate clause. And then we have here a compound sentence from here to here. We got John and Sarah were selected as partners for the projects. And then we have here yet. Yet is a common, you know, conjunction that we've found in compound sentences, guys. Compound sentences, you find yet, right? Okay, so, and then we have another independent clause, which is Sarah did most of the work. So I hope that you understood right now the 4 categories of sentences. This is very, very important when it comes to writing. فاش مهم هذا الدرس المهم اللي غتجي ليكسبرسيون كريت تما كيفاش دابا كتولي كتكتب الجمله وكتعرف شنو كتبتي واش اون فراز سامبل ولا اون فراز compound ولا right or compound complex or complex and so on, right? تما كيفاش ممكن في ليكسبرسيون كريت كطور ليكريتور ديالك فوالا you're writing and you write complex sentences وتكتب جمل معقدة ومركبة معقدة في الآن نفسه وهكذا. Right. Now I will we're gonna stop here. Just I'm going to give you the last challenge before we close this session. But I'm gonna assign you a homework if it's possible for you to do it. The homework is very easy to do. You just need to tick, right? What does it mean to tick here? You put this remark, right? In the right, tick the right column. Is it simple? Is the sentence simple, compound, or complex? There is no compound complex here, okay? Just three choices. You got to choose, from the three options. So that's it, right? Okay, so we have sentences here from 1 to 10. You got to choose the right one, and then you put a tick right in the right cell. Okay, now to finish this session, Othmane, I would like you to give me examples, right? To make it clear, right, or to understand very well whether or to check your understanding of the lesson. The first thing I would like you to give you 5 sentences. That's the challenge. Number 1, give me a simple sentence, right, Othmane? Yeah, very simple one.
I'll go to school.
Very simple sentence, one complete idea. Good. Give me a compound sentence.
After eating my breakfast, I go to school.
What is it?
After eating my breakfast.
After, Othmane, after complex هذه ملي تشغل complex.
Compound.
جملة عادية واربط بين الجملتين التاليتين and or but كذا so and so on.
Ali playing football and me learning English. And I learning English.
But I, right, again you use but.
I learning English.
ابدأ بنفسك أولا ثم اذكر علي فيما بعد.
I learning English but Ali play football.
عود الجملة الأولى.
I learn English.
تمام جميل رائع جدا أحسنت. Right. I learn English but Ali plays football or learn نخليه في نفس المضمون مثلا I learn English but Ali learns French ولا whereas Ali learns French. That's very nice. Good. That's a compound sentence. Now complex.
After eating breakfast, I go to school.
Yeah, after eating breakfast, I go to school. Very nice. Good. Now, compound complex.
After watching TV, I learn English and but Ali play football.
But Ali
play football. Plays football.
Okay, excellent job. Right. It's quite clear right now that you understood the lesson very well. Thank you very much for being with us, Othmane. If you have any question, right? Do you have any question before you leave?
No.
Okay, so that's it, right? So don't forget to do the homework. I'm going to send it right away. And see you, inshallah, during the next session. And inshallah, we'll have a class tomorrow at 8 o'clock, right? Only Ali has a class. Only Ali has a class tomorrow.
But Sunday, I have me and him.
Okay, for Sunday, there is no classes on Sunday, only Saturday. Saturday?
Yes.
Okay, Saturday, Ali at 6, and then you at 7, right o'clock. Okay. All the best and have a good night. Yes. Goodbye.